All right, ladies and gentlemen, this is me watching a video, putting it into my own thought process, my own life, coming out of it with love and respect and a lot of understanding. And those all go hand in hand. So, this young lady is complaining, and I don't know if she's complaining, she's just stating her opinion, not fact, because they never tell her. Well, they do tell her why she didn't get she didn't get the job at TJ Maxx, and I would have laughed right then. But hey, those are jobs. People got to do those too. People need clothes. You know, we live in a world where those jobs are necessary. But well, Amazon's trying to make that not necessary. But when you're a young kid, growing up or going to college or something like that, those jobs used to be like that for that purpose, you know. And if you could go through college and work a job like that, work really hard, maybe, and may become a manager or a shift manager, anything as a younger person. Yeah, see that? I'm using a pronoun. It's person. So, and it doesn't matter if you're male or female or him or her or whatever the other ones. It doesn't matter about any of that. What it matters about is you're putting yourself in a place of position where you are working for somebody else to make them money so they can in turn pay you for making them money. And work, even if you love doing what you're doing, if you don't put in the effort like you love it, like you love something else with a lot of heart and effort, if you put a lot of love into the work you do, you're going to get a better product. You're going to learn to become better at it. And that's what gaining knowledge and working in it and becoming an entrepreneurial kind of person, or even getting a good job anywhere, even becoming regional sales manager for TJ Maxx. I'm sure they have stuff like that. Maybe they don't anymore, but because of the internet. But what I'm saying is, if you're coming at anything in life, and this woman had tattoos all over her face. She had probably, I I want to say at least 10 piercings in her face, even one of those big hooks. And hey, I'm all for it, man. I had my tongue pierced, I had my nipples pierced, I had my lower region pierced. I got tattoos. I got disrespectful to Jesus tattoos on my back. And all I'm trying to say is, if you're trying to sell somebody else's product, what is, and I hate to say this, but what is the norm? It definitely isn't face tattoos, especially if you're showing neck like like she does, and she has tattoos on her neck, and there's a pentagram and the sign of the devil and all that stuff like that. Like, hey, this is America. You're free to believe in what you want to believe in, but it doesn't mean that I have to believe in it, and it doesn't mean that somebody else has to believe in it. And that goes with the good and the bad. And I'm sorry to say, but Jesus and God have always been the good. The devil's always been the bad. As long as you live. Anybody in the United States, especially, that's born here, has lived most of their life here, or has spent most of their life dreaming of coming here, And I'm just generalizing for that because I can't say that's the way it is in other countries. But I've been to a lot of countries, and everybody seems to know what good and evil, God and the devil, whether it's the God I worship or the God they worship, they still believe it. And people that don't believe in anything, they were just a bunch of chaotic molecules that somehow just exploded out of nothing. I don't understand how that works. Yeah, but then by chance, we all became living human beings. But there's no evolution chain to support that side tangent. What I'm saying is, if you love your job like that and realize that you're selling somebody else's product to make money so you can reap those benefits, harder work, more responsibility, more money, more skill, more money, much more so than responsibility. Like the more skill you have, the more money you're going to make. Unfortunately, that isn't so much so anymore, but it still is, because you can always have that job if you have a skill. And knowing how to run people effectively and work hard yourself is a really amazing tool. So the tattoos aren't you. And I'm saying this to the whole world. The tattoos, all that stuff, those aren't you. And your actions with an understanding heart filled with love is the only way you're going to get anywhere in life. The tattoos aren't going to do anything for you. They will get people to stare at you. But how many of them are staring at you and saying, wow, that's awesome? And how many of them are staring at you and saying, wow, I wouldn't have chosen that? And I would hope that's a lot more than, wow, that's pretty fucked up. Sorry to say this. Sorry, Lord. But seriously, whenever a pentagram on your neck or anything like that, or all that stuff, and she was a beautiful woman. I love my wife, all that stuff like that. I'm not saying that. But she's a beautiful woman. And she didn't need all that. She already had that going for her. So I don't know where she was broken or if she was broken. But you don't put tattoos on your face when you're beautiful if something else inside isn't broken. And if your heart isn't with the Lord, if you don't talk to Jesus or try to find a way to communicate with him, but you got to give in. And sometimes just before you give in completely, he comes and says something to you, and it changes your life. That's all I'm saying. So yeah, I would, and the question was asked, would you hire this person? And I said, yeah, I would hire that person in a minute. If they were as qualified as anybody else for a job, for the lack of a better word, simple as working at TJ Maxx. The only not simple part about working in a place like that, and I give a lot of credit to people that can do it, is being able to deal with lots of disrespectful people that expect stuff way too fast, and it just stresses everybody out. Like, everybody wants everything now. So I get it. Life times are rough out there, but I'm going to give you a job, and I'm going to give you a list of my rules on how I expect my employees to behave. because they are representing me in my company. And you can believe in what you want, and this goes in life, anybody. You can believe in what you want, but if you can cover those up and take those piercings out, where the, I understand. I've had piercings. If you got a newer piercing and you don't keep it in long enough, it closes up in a couple hours. So yeah, I get it. But when you can take them out, I don't want them at work. And you can wear rings, you can wear a necklace, basic, all that stuff. You can wear lipstick, you can wear makeup, but you don't need all that stuff when you're at work, because it's not about you. It's about working for me so I can work for you. So I may be wrong about this, but if I was to hire somebody like that, and I've given a lot of people a lot of chances, and some of them have worked out and some of them haven't. I don't really know of any that I have ever not worked with where it ended where I was like, I can't stand this guy. I would never help him out again. No, not like that, but there's also got to be a lot of give on the other side if somebody was to say, I'm sorry. If I was to blindly help them with love. So, I mean, my family can't afford me just allowing people to run over me, if you understand what I'm saying. And, yeah, crazy. That's just it right there. I have no problem with that, but if you're looking for jobs like that where you don't have a skill, that a known skill that demands somebody putting up with your shit, sorry Lord, then guess what? That's why construction workers and that's why sailors, that's why they had tattoos, But even then, there was restrictions on that. Like men don't openly go out. Well, they used to not openly go out showing off their tattoos. But if like men do, take off your shirt to go for a swim, there they were, muscles rippling, all that stuff like that. It used to be a sign of virility. So like women didn't get tattoos. Cross culture in the world, women didn't get tattoos, and if they did, they were for ownership. And a lot of men got those too, tattoos for ownership and control. Tattoos aren't all good. I got some bad ones on me. I got ones that have stab wounds in them, that don't even really look like what they were supposed to. All I'm saying is once it's there, if your mind changes, wouldn't be the best place for a tattoo somewhere where you can at least not horrify the rest of the world with? And I don't mean that in a bad way, but in a bad way, kinda. Tattoos have always been taboo. And many other countries too. Like tattooing used to be illegal in Japan. Like getting a tattoo was something that like samurais and the mafia bosses did, but not really the women. I may be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's the way it's been. I've been to Japan a bunch of times. I even got an old school tattoo started in Japan. Like I've gotten tattoos all over the world, and I paid attention to them. I paid attention to different cultures and the way they did their tattoos. I've always wanted to do a real school, old world, like boar tusk, Polynesian tattoo on my whole leg, get it all done. but it's super expensive now, and because everybody's got tattoos are a thing now. I mean, they're cool. I dig them. I dig good artwork, but you don't have to cover every inch of your skin with them. You know, it's just you have them somewhere. They're a story, and all I'm saying is they're not what they used to be. It just and then like tribes used to tattoo and do piercing stuff like that just to look more menacing. So the more piercings and all that stuff like that, but that was a manly thing. Women didn't do stuff like that. Hey, we're same, we're different. Um, that's how I handle things, anymore. I kind of think I want to handle that most of my life, just not with Jesus all the time. So let me know what you think. Like, subscribe, tell me to shut up, tell me I'm stupid. I've heard it all, so I'm just interested if you're going to say stuff like that, kind of be specific on how I'm stupid. And hey, I guess I'll just keep telling it how it is and keep talking about God and Jesus and hope somebody finds him. Hey, if I was to get 1 billion, and man, I gotta laugh at that. Like, not anywhere near close. 1 billion views. If I got one person to Jesus, hey, that's awesome. Because I know how good it is that like, how good it feels to have found Jesus like I have. And my life isn't free from suffering, but I understand the suffering a lot more. And it's kind of when you're with Jesus that suffering doesn't feel like suffering anymore. So, you young people want, yeah, I'm almost 50. I guess you young people you want more. We got it the way it's backwards. So men have to lead from the front with a good woman backing them up. It has to be like that. If you want good men, keep them in the house. And I don't mean don't let them work. They need to work. They need to work probably a little bit more, a little bit more than love, because the thing you're doing is providing for your family. So, and knowing that your wife's back there teaching your kids good things and making them cookies, praying at every meal, and being my queen. That combination right there, whether her beauty fails here on earth, I will never see it, because I love her. And all I see is her. And that's everything. But, hey, we got it backwards. We're not better, we're not worse. We're different, but we're the same. And we're all God's children. All of our DNA is coded the same. Every single human being, it's coded the same. It just has little differences in it because we're of different DNA. You know, if you can understand that. But they're all coded the same. And I heard this rumor, and it's not a rumor, but this guy was relating to Jesus's name and the numerical value of his name is the same as human DNA. How it's coded. The order that it's in. You have to look it up. It's Jesus' name with the human DNA. Something like that. It's pretty interesting. But maybe just for me. And I would hope more, but how many coincidences do you need before it's a miracle? And is anything really a coincidence? Yeah. Maybe an accident, but not a coincidence. Anyways. Hey. We got it backwards. We need to get back to God. We need to know Jesus is the way, and he shows us that way on his actions. And it shows us his heart. Everything that he did for us. So don't pray to me. Don't honor me. Honor, love Jesus. You can love me, I'll love you back if I understand where you're coming from. You'll at least get an understanding out of me. You won't get hate. Well, we'll try to keep the hate out, you know. There is that whole military. It's still in there a little bit, so I might not go too far, but I might go somewhere. And with the least amount of force needed. I go about that with everything now, especially now I'm getting older. So like, you know, the quickest way anywhere is in a straight line, and if you deviate off those paths too much, things start to get rough. So, and you lose time, and time is important to me because we don't know how much we have left. So, thanks for listening. May God bless us all. One love, one race under him, and that's the human race for all you non-believers out there. Our lives matter. His life mattered. Jesus loves you yesterday, today, and for all of eternity. Good night. Thanks for listening.